I'm the one who rented the thing. Why wouldn't I print ski on them? We were at a firing range and, keep this to yourself, but I overslept after partying last night and skipped my shower. I created a team-building exercise to boost morale to blow off steam. It was also part of our marketing position, how we put realism into the game. It was a photo op. We had our pictures taken while firing guns for sending out to the media. It was our core team, me, Stan, and Andy, plus Craig. Stan invited him too, at Andy's insistence. I guess it was old loyalty to a founding member. A couple of them. I kind of dig handguns, and they look good on me. Ever seen those Hong Kong action movies? Chicks with guns? I started with a 22, but just didn't do it for me. So I switched to a 45. That one kicked ass. Oh, sorry. That must really sound in bad taste. The rest of the weapons are still waiting to be picked up at the gun club. I brought the M4 assault rifle over early to ensure it would fit in the display. The realism of our game stems from the fact that every in-game gun is modeled after the real deal. And we have them here at the booth to make that point. This industry is heavily male-oriented, including the retailers, and everybody knows boys like toys. So I brought the toys for the boys to look at. No, we originally arranged to rent replica guns for the show, but when we picked them up, they all had a red cap on the muzzle. Gut Wrench 3 is all about realism. There's no way we can display weapons that are obviously toys. This was a last-minute wild idea I had, out at the gun club. I suggested we rent them from the club, and Sam loved the idea. I don't know exactly. I mean, I don't live here. I just hopped in a cab and said gun club. You're detectives, right? How about checking the phone book? Again, realism and promotion. All of us here would role-play a combat situation, right in the booth, you know, every few minutes? Which is why I'm dressed for action, and sadly, Stan is too.
I don't understand. What's the point of play acting shoot 'em up?
To bring the game to life, to make the buyers feel like they were inside the game, to stimulate them to see our game over every other one here. Listen, a trade show is a kind of carnival, and this was effective. And yes, it was my idea. And hey, I'd have gone farther with it if I could. I wanted to fire off blanks, but the fire marshal mixed it. Too unsafe.
So you had no form of live ammunition in your play acting?
Nothing. Yeah, he was. Not for real, of course. But his role was to take the hit, yes, and I was the shooter. We rehearsed it a couple times right before I left last night. I just point the empty gun at him, timing it to the demo, and mime to the game sound effects. We rented the weapons from the gun club. I have no idea if they were modified or not. I didn't purchase any ammo. They were for show only. Stan couldn't see renting a .45 automatic when he just bought one. Sure, it was real. Hadn't been modified for safety, but hey, it was unloaded. And it's not like somebody would be walking around the trade show with a pocket full of bullets. Yesterday that sounded more reasonable, I admit. Well, he said he bought it for the company. It's the first weapon the art and sound staff used as reference. Andy thought he could program the game more realistically if he was familiar with the weapon, with its physics, as Andy put it. As I said, we're all about realism. The game has to be convincing.
No problem. Here you go. Line of Fire Gun Club, 3727, North Ralston Avenue. Perhaps you have some ID? We're with the Las Vegas Crime Lab. We have a few questions. Yes, I'm Andy Penmore. Is this about Stan? He never came home last night. Then this is Las Vegas.
I'm afraid Mr. Everston is dead.
Is this some kind of weird joke? Craig behind this maybe? Or Maya? More for off-the-wall publicity? I've been up all night slaving over some final tweaks Stan wants, and I'm in no mood for practical jokes.
No joke? He's dead. Murdered. In your demo booth.
Oh.
He was shot 3 times, Mr. Penmore. That's why we're here.
Oh my God. This is real. Really? Stan's my friend. We were just together last night, so... My God.
This is no game. This is real, Mr. Penmore.
Just last night, in a demo room, putting finishing touches on the presentation, looking for bugs, discussing his final tweak. I can't believe this. I headed back to my hotel room at around 1 in the morning. Stan wanted me to get on those fixes, and he stayed at the booth, preparing for the media demo today. No, nobody I saw anyway. Sure, this is a disaster, personally and professionally. I'll help in any way I can. Anything you need. Who told you that? Maya? Typical. Trying to make me look bad, take the heat off her after she was screaming at Stan, which is why she was having problems with him. You had to know how to handle that guy, and attacking and counterattacking was bad strategy.
If you don't mind, let's just get back to the question. Did you ask Stan Everston to buy you a gun?
Of course I did. How else could I program a game this realistic without understanding the actual physics of the key weapon? Also, our art staff needed it for reference. Is any of that hard to grasp? Look, I never shot anything more real than a Super Soaker. Not that Stan took much convincing. He'd been wanting to buy a gun for himself for some time. He had a genuine paranoid streak. Only, now that he's a murder victim, he doesn't seem quite so paranoid, I guess. It's Sam's. He bought it for his 45. He used it last night at the gun club.
Dick had a cell number, but we didn't recover a phone from the body. Did the killer lift it for some reason? Hey, a scorpion. Maybe we ought to call Grissom. Oh, I keep forgetting you're new. Grissom gets excited about bugs. Only, I don't know if he'd call this a bug exactly. Hey, that's Fuzzy and Bill from that T-shirt we found. Looks like they've also been killed. Their video game got the axe. Looks like a number of hardcore fans were pretty keyed off. Email's corrupted. A virus, maybe? Well, this wind painted a picture of a hype machine rolling happily along, but it looks like Stan the Man was not so happy with her marketing campaign. That's pretty interesting.
Sure, of course. At a big show like this, you'd be dead without it. Sorry, poor choice of words. Let me think. Yeah, he had it, because he text messaged me right after I got back to the room. Asked me to order a Cobb salad from room service and had it waiting for him. Thing's still sitting here, don't it? Just that I saw Maya wad it up and throw it at Stan yesterday, right after we checked in. She's pissed. Actually, the surprise would have been for her not to be. You see, she and Stan, they've been at each other's throats for 2, 3 weeks. It's been getting nastier and nastier as we got closer and closer to this show. They did not see eye to eye in the market strategy at all. Stan's. Well, looks kind of bad, sort of sick at the moment, but I let this friend of ours do that as a practical joke. Thing was dead, couldn't hurt him, and Craig said Stan would get a kick out of it. Those two were always doing that kind of thing to each other, so I just went along. Hell no, it was dead. Couldn't hurt him, or me for that matter. He's a game designer who was one of the founders of the company with Stan, even before I arrived. He left about a year ago. His sense of humor is kind of out there, called an acquired taste. For example, just before he left the company, when he was working on Gut Wrench 3, he put in a cheat code that lets you kill the boss. Of course, killing bosses is common in shooting games. At the end of a level, it's usually big bad guys or grotesque monsters, and they're not yuppie businessmen who look exactly like Stan Everson. You had to be there. Anyway, this was about the time Stan fired him. Gee, I had no idea. He drove here on his own just to attend the trade show and hang out with us. I couldn't give you his license under hypnosis, man. It's some SUV, American make, I think. Ask Maya, why don't you? Craig was hitting on it pretty hard yesterday, and they were getting friendly. Saw him exchange phone numbers.
What can I do for you, officers?
Las Vegas Crime Lab. We have a few questions we need to ask.
Our claim to fame are the public firing lanes we offer, 50 feet long. Patrons can rent weapons from us or bring their own. We offer guns for purchase as well, and our members get lower prices, lower rates on our services. We're responsible operation officers. We're all about gun safety here, offer classes for the whole family. But we also offer a tactical training course to police and military personnel. I'm sure some of your colleagues have utilized our services. For example, our changeable walkthrough course with simulated real-world environments.
The only group we had was from a video game company. A small group, just 4, but they charged it on a company card. Actually, yes. You see, people usually come out for one of 2 reasons. To have a good time, or to do some serious training. These 4, well, if I'd had known what kind of mood they were in, I don't know if I'd done business with them. They were at each other, really nasty insults, arguments, 2 in particular.
Which couple was, arguing?
A young Asian woman and an older guy. Handsome, I'd say. They were in a huge fight. I mean, over the top to where I thought they might come to violence, which is not good in this environment. I came out and told them to get their act together, or they'd be out on the sidewalk where they could fight without guns in their hands. We can check the sign-in sheet for sure, but best I remember, in the evening, around 8 till maybe 10. We are pro-police here at the gun club. You guys are the first line of defense, and we back you all the way. Private lane number 1 is still in the condition they left it, so hey, do your thing.
A useful list of who had brought what to the party.
Set of firearms? More like an arsenal. But understand, we don't rent out functioning firearms. Well, they function to a degree, but they're modified for non-lethal pellets, you know, for legal reasons.
What kind of non-lethal ammo does it fire?
Paint bullets, but not paintball exactly. These are the smaller variety pellets used in high-tech tactical training. These suckers pinpoint. And just because you can't get killed doesn't mean you want one of these paint pellets pelting you. They leave a whale of a welt. No, not without substituting a real barrel onto the weapon, and even then a special adapter has to be installed. And, well, it would be more trouble than it's worth. And we don't rent the real barrels out, if that's what you're thinking. Seems to me one of them did. but I'm hazy on who and what caliber the weapon was. I mean, I see so many guns in this place. But it'll be on the sign-in sheet. We're all over it when somebody brings their own gun into our space. Now that you mention, the one who seemed to be the boss, fella who paid for the session, Stan Everston, he bought a .45 auto and some ammo for it.
Wow, look at that grouping. That kind of shooting takes considerable practice.